Hi friends, it's Doreen. I'm back to home with Doreen. I'm just fiddling with this the lighting and everything. Hope this is good enough lighting because I felt like sitting at the table, and usually I cook in my at my kitchen counter or stove, and I'm at the table tonight. So I thought I would jump on here because we're gonna make an appetizer for tomorrow, Christmas Eve, and I thought you might love this. So I'm gonna kind of a far distance from here a little bit. So if anybody comments, I hope I can see you. But tonight we're gonna make a charcuterie Christmas tree. Now I have served at these. Served one of these just recently at a Christmas like brunch, and it went over so well. So I thought I would go ahead and make one for you. We've been doing a few videos on Christmas. I did a collaboration with my daughter Hannah Lopez. She has a scrapbooking YouTube channel, and we talked all about making scrapbooks, especially around the holidays to remember those special occasions. We did a favorite one of our Christmas cookies. It's called chocolate jumble. So we went ahead and shared that recipe with you. That one is a more regionally known in upstate New York, and a lot of people haven't ever heard of that before. Let me know in the comments if you've ever heard of chocolate jumbles. But it's like molasses gingerbread, um, and a chocolate type of cookie. It is delicious, but we shared that recipe with you. But tonight, let's make this Christmas tree charcuterie. Oh, look at that. I went ahead and did this ahead of time because if you're making a charcuterie tree, oh, where I got a little bit of lint. I was working on Christmas ornaments last night, so I thought I got all that off the table. I see a couple pieces on my toothpicks. I'm gonna get those off. But anyway, so let me just show you what you basically just use one of those styrofoam um, Christmas trees you can find in the craft center. I have some smaller ones, and I wrapped these really well with some plastic wrap. You basically, and I'll show you how you do it, just so you get a good idea of what we do. But you just take a nice sheet of plastic wrap and you coat that really well so that any juices from your food, and plus too, you don't want your food to be touching that styrofoam. So it's real simple. You just pretty much, for the bigger one, you need a bigger sheet, and you just roll that up. Hold it nice and tight. Now I've got this is like the third layer I think on here because I already put two on here. Yep, just it clings on there nice. Try to get it as flat as you can, but you're going to put something underneath here. So one of the coatings you can do is like a leaf, like a romaine lettuce or something like that. But we're just going to go ahead and use basil on this one because this is going to be a savory one. Now I'm only going to do this one tonight. These ones I'm going to do tomorrow morning. They're going to be fruit ones. I'm going to do ones with strawberries. And strawberries can be kind of delicate, so I don't want to do that. And then the other tree, I want to do like some green grapes. I'm going to roll them in some sugar and make a little tree on that. I'll probably put some cranberries on that, maybe a little rosemary in there to just give it festive. So yeah, you just want to coat that well. And then when you're making a charcuterie tree, it's much easier if you go ahead and put all your toothpicks in there. And I really like that process because it's just so simple to just stick everything on there. You're not having to, have your hands all maybe sticky from because we've got olives, and I'll go over the list of stuff we have. But yeah, when you put this works best if you put your toothpicks in. And probably, I didn't count how many, but I'm going to say probably 40, maybe 50 toothpicks. And I bought these packs. You can get 250. It's a round toothpick. And let me show you the size of that. It's about that size. And I have some larger ones. I don't know if this is more of like a hors d'oeuvre, or I keep getting that Christmas fuzz on there from the ornament fuzz thing. But that one's a little bit bigger. Let me hold that up to the other one. So see the difference? So this big one can support this tree. You could probably put the bigger ones on the bottom and the smaller ones on top. But these big ones I think are going to be too big for these smaller trees. So keep that in mind, and it's just safe to buy a few boxes. I bought about 3 boxes of these, so I know I had plenty. And I've already made one Christmas tree, charcuterie Christmas tree. So these are the items we're going to use. We're going to use some basil leaves. We are going to use some pickles, some sweet gherkin pickles. We're going to use some black olives and some Spanish green olives with the pimento. Those are a little bit bigger than the black ones. We're going to use cherry tomatoes, or actually these are grape tomatoes. We are going to use, I have this also for cheeses. I have the pearl size mozzarella balls, and I put it in some paper towels to just get the extra moisture off, because you don't want this dripping wet. It'll wilt your basil. It'll make your cheese all yucky. And then I cubed up some extra sharp white cheddar and some sharp orange cheddar. And then on the top, I'm going to use a cheddar star, and I used a cookie cutter for that. So what else? Oh, and then we have a selection of like a salami trio with Genoa salami, fennel salami, and a calabrese, however you say it. But we're gonna just get going now. As I'll fill you in as I go along. So you want to use your biggest leaves of your basil first. Oh, it smells great. I'll tell you what, and this smells wonderful when you put it out on the table for service. And I'm going to use this, and I'm going to use my other little smaller Christmas trees. I'm going to make the fruit one. I'm going to use that as my centerpiece, because I think that'll be a really cute centerpiece. I'm just going to check my camera because I'm seeing from a distance, and I wanted to see if anybody was chatting, because I can't. It's got this little memo there I'm trying to get rid of. But anyway, so and I always prep this ahead of time. So I drain my pickles, and I drain my olives a good hour before I start this. So I just drain them in a little colander, and if they're still a little damp, I'll take a little paper towel to them. But if you let them drain it a good hour, they're going to be plenty dry. The same thing with your, I wash my veggies in a water vinegar bath. Well, the tomatoes and my grapes, I already did that. So they'll be ready for tomorrow. I'm not going to do the strawberries until tomorrow morning, because I don't want them to be wilted at all. So I'll do that tomorrow. So how's the holiday? How is the holiday festivities going as far as getting ready? I know, like, we have a billion things to do, don't we? I know I haven't even wrapped my presents yet, but thankfully I don't have a lot to wrap this year. So I won't be up till 2 o'clock in the morning. You're remember those days. Now I'm older now. My kids are grown. My grandkids are teenagers. But I can remember when my kids were little. And I can remember on Christmas Eve, like wrapping the presents. You know, you always say, "Oh, I'm going to get to wrapping the presents," and then when I was younger, I just always seemed to wait to the last minute, the night before, and I would be watching like "It's a Wonderful Life" on TV. Um, Sometimes I'll watch some of the Christmas church services on because they have pretty choirs that sing pretty Christmas music, and I'll be listening to that while I'm wrapping. And I can remember one night it was a midnight mass. I think it was a Catholic midnight mass, and I was like, man, these presents aren't going to even be wrapped for 8 hours. By the time I got them wrapped, it was like, oh, see, I'm just putting those, and this doesn't have to be perfect because you're really just your couple things for aesthetically. Um, this will hide your white styrofoam. You don't, you know, if people are looking at when they're looking at it from different angles, you don't want that white styrofoam to um, show through. You want it to look pretty, so. And you don't have to use basil. You can use romaine, maybe green leaf. I don't know how flimsy that with you. I think you would want to stiff. Now the thing about this basil, it's not the stiffest either, but it smells wonderful. This smell alone attracts people to it. My bigger leaves up near the bottom. This is probably the most difficult part because you're not really all that difficult, but oh, smells so good. I was taste testing the pickles. They taste good too. So I don't usually get pickles only like maybe probably around holiday season, and then when you're having them, like, oh yeah, I forgot how much I like pickles. I used to buy them more often years and years ago, but then they ended up like going to the back of the fridge, and we never got around to eating them. So, what kind of appetizers are you guys making for Christmas or Christmas Eve? This is going to be our appetizer, this little charcuterie, and I'll put some, you know, a tray of a couple of crackers out. If I have enough time, I'm going to make these bacon chestnuts. Um, so you basically take the watercress, uh, not watercress, yeah, what do you call them? They are watercress chestnuts. They're that they're in the Asian section of the grocery store, and usually could get them whole. I used to be able to get them years ago whole, but now they always just have them sliced, and that will work. But basically, if you stack a few on top of each other, and then you wrap like a half a slice of bacon around those water chestnuts. That's what they're. I'm getting tired. Um, and then you make this sauce with chili sauce, a little mayo, some brown sugar. I'm trying to think what else. Maybe a little Worcestershire sauce or something. Mix that up and pour that over. You poke toothpicks into to hold them together. I wrap them pretty good. I don't need the toothpicks until after I bake them. But yeah, you roast them in the oven. I forget how long. I'd have to look at my recipe, but I might make those because they go over really well. But I don't want to over do too much work. Right at Christmas time, Just so much to do with buying presents, wrapping presents, making cookies. It's nice if you can just enjoy your family and not go too overboard, but I don't know. Us women, right? We can't help ourselves sometimes. Moms can't help themselves. We love to decorate. We love the prettiness. I was still putting up a couple decorations because I never put up my Christmas wreath on the front door. Finally took down the fall wreath and I put up the Christmas wreath and I put a little basket with some greens and some ribbon, little red jingle bells. So now we're all set. I need more bigger ones. I guess this batch didn't have as much the larger leaves like I had last time. So basically that's what we're doing, just covering that. It's looking pretty Christmassy already, isn't it? Let me know. Give me a shout out if you can hear me okay. I don't see any comments on there. I'm looking from a distance. So let me know if you can hear this okay. And on these trees, you want to put the biggest things on the bottom, of course. My last pack of basil, the leaves are a lot bigger. This is taking longer than it should. Oh, I got this whole back section. Am I going to have enough? Barely. Oh, Christmas tree. Oh, Christmas tree. Is everybody watching their favorite Christmas movies? We've watched a good majority of. We've watched Home Alone 2. We watched Jingle All the Way. That's an old Christmas one. We watched the Santa Claus. I haven't watched the Christmas Story yet. We usually watch that on Christmas Day. Let's see what else. I didn't watch Elf either yet. I didn't get around to that one. Oh, I probably see someone. Hello. Hello, friends. The only person, sorry. That's okay. That's okay. You know what? I knew that doing a live, I'm like, well, everybody is getting ready for Christmas pretty much, right? I mean, some people are real organized and they get done before the last minute. Like kind of like me here, I'm last minute. But anyway, I had to do this and I might have, I don't know if I posted a short on here, maybe on some of my other socials on this tree, and people are like, show us how you make that. And I'm like, okay. And it didn't hurt to come on and share. I had to do the work anyway. I might as well sit and chit chat with y'all. You got your Christmas wrapping done. You got all your festivities done. Let me look up here. Thank you. Yep. We're busy, right? So we'll save this I just need a little bit for the top when we put the star on. But let's go ahead and let's start with the gherkins because that is going to take up a lot of space and you're basically just putting that sideways and just goes. See how easy that went in? That's because we went ahead and put these all in before. This makes this assembly really quick and easy. And I, have those toothpicks in pretty good, maybe a little more than halfway. All right, I'm saying how well it went in. This one's not as easy, but it might take a few tries to get the toothpicks in the way you want or the way you need. And you really can decorate it any way you want. There we go. Find some that are around the same size. And when I complete this, I just put a big like storage bag, like one of those Ziploc storage bags. I cover that over. I set it straight up and put it on a plate and then tent it over. That way it's not, it's protecting it from the other foods and it doesn't, hopefully get damaged. Sure. Thanks, friend. Thanks. So yeah, so that protects it from getting, damaged in your refrigerator, and that really works well. So I don't put it, I yeah, the Ziploc part, it's like upside down that you put it on here. You want to make sure you do that. So, but yeah, I knew that many people, I know that many people wouldn't be on tonight because everybody's so busy. But so then we're gonna go ahead and do the grape tomatoes. And sometimes you have to fill in some things in between. Like I said, it takes a few tries. It's like I kind of leave a space for like some of the cheese or the olives. So I'm like every other toothpick, I'm pretty much doing tomatoes. This one, I'll put one in here. All right, and so then we'll go to, you know what? Let's put some of our meats. So with the meat, I just take a slice. Hopefully you can see okay. Let's see. My little. So I basically just fold that in half and then fold it in half again. So, and then it looks nice when you put it in there. And you can put a piece of meat, then a little piece of cheese. Well, that's all it takes. So, yeah, let's do a different variety. Gives it a little color and dimension. Put one here. Back up a little bit so you can see. Okay. I think this one I'll use the extra sharp cheddar. Like I said, it takes a while to prep everything, but once you get this going, this part goes pretty quick. We'll time it. I haven't timed myself before on this, but we'll time it, and then you can kind of gauge how long it will take you. What do you think so far? It smells really great with the basil. And then the fruit ones, because they're smaller, that won't take long either. So I serve, like I said, a tray of different, holiday crackers. Sometimes just even like Ritz or a buttery cracker, maybe some Triscuits. Holding that up. There we go. So we pretty much went around with that. So let's start doing some olives. And I want the pimento to stick out because that makes such a pretty. Let's see, do I want to do? Yeah, I'm going to do a black olive and then a green olive. It just adds to the decoration of it. No, I should have gave you an estimate of how much this costs to put together. I'll have to go back and look at my now if I have a toothpick like this one is kind of long, so I'll just take some of that pearl mozzarella cheese and I'll put that on there too. All that. All right. Yeah, I'll try to come back to this post in the comments and put how much, because that's an important thing to know how much it costs you to put together. Probably it's a little bit more than what I'm thinking, but yeah, and the black olives, they're so small that I pretty much always have to put a little bit of mozzarella cheese on there. I don't know, barely stick. That's a pretty big piece. Maybe that won't work. There we go. Oh, well, we'll see. All right. One more. Oh, right here. There we go. What do you think so far? Is that fun? Oh, I love it. I love it. Let me see. Hi. I wonder why this stream. I don't know. I'm not that fancy with the technology, friends. So, but I have a lot of good videos. So I figure one of these days it'll hit. Just gotta go ahead and do the videos. I've been cooking for a long time, over 40 years, probably over. Well, I've been married. My husband and I've been married for 43 years. We just celebrated our 43rd anniversary. Can you believe that? So I've been cooking for him that long. I love to cook. That's like my fun therapy and creative most of the time. Now I'm putting the pickles again, okay? Um, but I used to be a little bit of do it for a profession while I cooked at a rest home many years ago. Um, and I loved cooking for people. And I had a small like uh personal chef type of job. I did that for probably just a year, where I just pretty much served some families, mostly like for dinner parties or um, like if somebody was, recovering from surgery and they needed some make ahead meals, or gals that were having babies, they needed somebody to come in and have some make ahead meals for them, that kind of thing. All right, so I got a little gap there. So what do I want to put? Let's put some more of that meat. We need that. Like, remember I said, oh, if you haven't seen, I'm folding it in half and then folding it in half again. And then, let's see, where was I missing some spots? Right in here. Kind of using that like a little filler. And I'm using like Genoa salami, um, different kinds of salamis. So let's see. Oh, you know what? I definitely need to put some more grape tomatoes in there, but let's go ahead and do that. This doesn't take long, but thanks for watching, friends. I know everybody's super busy with the holiday. And like I said, I knew that I probably wouldn't get that many views, but because everybody's so busy. But later on, because you can um once you learn how to do it, you can do it anytime for Christmas. I mean, you could still carry it over to New Year's Day if you wanted, because let's see, it's coming along, coming along. Put that there. All right, now I'm gonna put more meat in there. Thanks for the comments. I have to get up because I can't see it. This is better than getting ready for the holidays. Oh, thanks. You're too kind. But I hope you try one of these if you're entertaining with friends. I don't think it's really that hard. And I think like when people see it, they'll be like, oh wow, that's so pretty. And it is pretty, but it's really not hard to do. And you have just a really nice, fancy little appetizer. If you like to be creative, which is a fun way to be creative. Well, I don't know where that cheese fell off. We've got to get some of this other cheese on here too. Oh, that's right. I'm chatting and I'm forgetting that I need to add these other cheeses to those. Won't fit on that one, so we'll just stick that there. We're probably more than halfway done. And I'm glad I'm doing this ahead of time and not rushing tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm hosting my daughter and my son-in-law, and we are. I'm gonna make a baked ham. I'm gonna try to do like a copycat honey baked ham. That's the plan. Whether I change my plan by between tonight and tomorrow is a different. Sometimes I do that. But yeah, I don't make ham that often, but I was like, um, my husband's not a big fan of turkey, even though I make it at Thanksgiving. I was like, and usually, truth be told, a lot of times I'll make lasagna for Christmas or Christmas Eve. But I've had a lot more lasagna this last year or two because I'm working on a cooking class, and it's all Italian dishes. So I've made a few lasagnas. So it's like you know what I love lasagna, but if you have it more than a few times a year, it's so rich and just like okay. And plus, I've been making a lot of other Italian dishes, so it's like I wanted to do something different because I have already been doing. What do I need next? Let me see. Bye. Bye, friend. We'll see you. I love lasagna, Dylan says, too. I know. Um, do you pre-bake your lasagna or do you put them in the oven unbaked or uncooked on the stovetop and then just put a lot of sauce and bake it that way, or do you cook the noodles first on the stove? I always cook the noodles first on the stove. I tried some of those no bake um noodles, but I haven't had great success. I've heard other people though say they did, so I don't know, must be doing something wrong. But, all right. Oh, thank you. Keep doing the work. Good work. Thank you, friend. All right. So let's see. What am I missing now? I gotta put more of these mozz. Oh, I need some of these black olives. All these mozzarella balls. If you keep some of these toothpicks sticking out quite a bit, you can fit two things on there. I think this time I didn't pull as many out as far. I pushed them too deep because you do need if you want to jazz it up. And I don't like the way that looks. I gotta pull that out. And need a fresh piece of mozzarella ball. There we go. I can't I can't get over how good this smells. I think if you try it, you're gonna love that part of it. Let's put this way. And if I need some fillers, I'll just take some of those toothpicks and go back around and add some. See here, I have a hole here. I gotta figure out what I want to put there. needs to come out a little bit. So after this, I got to clean up, and I probably am going to maybe start wrapping, except for there's a game we're going to play tomorrow. One of my friends was telling me they do this game where they have several little gifts and they wrap it up in saran wrap in layers. Like you'll do like a gift, several layers of saran wrap, and then you at the end in the middle of the ball of saran wrap, you put like a bigger gift. You put some of the bigger gifts sporadically in there, but there's one big gift, and you put that in the middle, or not, yeah, in the center, so it's the last thing. But you have to unwrap it with wearing oven mitts, and like it's a shake of the dice. You can keep trying to. You have to shake the dice to see how many times you can unwrap the package, and then when you get doubles, then you have to stop unwrapping, if that makes sense. So anyway, it's the first time trying that game, so I do have to wrap a lot of little things. Yeah, stuff like Christmas candy, Christmas toilet, pretty toiletries. I'm trying to think what else. Lip balm, not nothing really expensive. And we have some Christmas cocoa. I'm just in here looking to fill in the gaps. I think we could put in more grape tomatoes. We're gonna also put some more meat in there too. So I want ones that aren't that big. Well, we can put that here. I said, remember that if you're making this, you got to let your olives drain and your pickles drain for a good hour, so that it won't make everything soupy and wet on all your other ingredients. So we're getting close to the end. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I will make this public so that people can go back and they want to see how to make one of these. I got it on here, but thanks for joining me. At the end, we're going to put that star on there. Let's put some more. So there's only 4 of us this year for Christmas. So I'm thinking we're not going to eat this whole thing because I was going to make some fruit ones too. But that's why I really don't need to make those other appetizers. Here I am, see, talking it out, thinking it out with you. I'm like, am I crazy? I always wait, sometimes make too much food. I grew up in a Catholic Italian town, and that rubbed off on me. I can't help it. I always got to be cooking more. It's like I'm not Italian, but I don't know. Sometimes I always like to make sure everybody has plenty of food. Isn't that pretty? Now you can change it up. You can put some rosemary in there. And make it a little more Christmas tree. Let's see, what else do we need? We need some more olives. I think we have plenty of pickles. That's the thing too about your tree that you're gonna make. Think about, how many people. We only have 4 people, so I don't want to put a whole jar of pickles because we're not gonna eat that many. But I know my son-in-law, he likes olives, so I'm thinking we're gonna be okay with that. And the last one I made, everybody, they even ate the basil off the tree. They loved that. So let's see, what do we need in here? We need go. Let's see. I love your Christmas tree you made with fruits. Oh, thanks so much. Yeah, the fruits will be really the strawberries. I can't wait. I have to see. We'll see how that works out because I haven't ever made one with strawberries before, but I don't think it. I think it'll be pretty easy. But like I said, I've got extra sharp cheddar cheese, and you could use whatever you like. Now I thought about feta, but feta's so crumbly, and I don't think that would hold up well. So you got to think about that part. But beside that, you can put so many different things on here, different types of cheeses. Well, I think I'm just going to go in and fill this in a little bit and end this video. I need a little more basil for the top. I think I need a couple little here on the top. They're really little. I barely have enough. That's the thing with these bigger packs of basil. They cost a little bit, but I don't want to step away and go in the fridge because I think I have a few pieces left in another package. I'm almost done, so let's put some of these pearl mozzarellas near the top. I don't use that many of them. I like these little pearl mozzarellas. It looks like little dollops of snow, doesn't it? It smells so good. I wish I could send the smell to you all. Little one. Like I said too, remember, you need those round pointed toothpicks, and they come in like a pack of 250. And I didn't count how many, but I believe I have to have over 50 on here. Probably more than what I think, but all right. So on this top, I have a larger toothpick, and we're gonna put you know what? I'm not gonna put the star on there tonight because I don't want that to bobble around just in case it tips over. But you would just basically, and you want it kind of thick because you want to be able to put that toothpick in there and not separate. So, and then we'll just put that toothpick down when we're ready. And there you go. We're going to have a really cute, really cute Christmas tree charcuterie. What are we going to put over here? What do we need? Olives over here. Remember too, some of your toothpicks, you want to put more than one thing, you just pull it out a little bit closer towards you so you can get everything on there. And now I'm just going looking around, seeing what I might want to fill this with. I used about a half a package of that meat, so I don't think I need too much more of that. Definitely use some of the olives. Mozzarella. Put that on there. All right. I I use these big olives because they take up a lot of space, and they got the big pimentos in there. I think that looks kind of nice. Just filling it in. I'll try to take a couple of video clips of this. I got it all completed here, but yeah, I'm gonna call that good. I think I have it filled in pretty much. Oh, there's a spot. We gotta have some meat there. I don't have as much meat on that side. Put some cheddar on there. All right. There we go. Like I said, you're gonna go through. Um, if you have some pieces, you don't. It's hard to like. I have a piece of toothpick sticking out. I really can't push that in too much now without. So I'm just gonna see something little that I can fill in. All right, I think that's pretty good. So I'm gonna wash my hands before I say goodbye to y'all because I don't want to touch my camera with that. I see a couple little empty spots, so I'll fill those in. Yeah, you finished it. Yes, I did. Thank you. I hope you have a great Christmas too. I hope you all have a great Christmas. But yeah, I finished it. So that didn't take long. Let's see. Well, I've been on here for, almost an hour, but I've been chit-chatting too and relaxing. So figure it's going to take you probably less than an hour, definitely, to put that together. And you got a nice Christmas centerpiece. Put your tray cookie crackers out and, with the fruit one, and there you go. So I'm going to cover this up and get to the next Christmas project. But thanks for joining me today. And like I said, hope you all have a Merry Christmas. God bless you. Bye bye. Thank you.